Welcome to the presentation of the EVINAR solution. In the next few minutes, we will take a look at how we can easily digitize our wine cellar. We will start right at the beginning with the registration of a demo user account, which will allow us to review the main functionalities using pre-prepared data. First, we open the EVINAR website. If the page is not displayed in English, we first click the link in the top right corner to select the English language. Then we click the registration link. A form opens where we enter our details and email address. Next, we select that we want to use the trial with demo data. We review the terms of use and the privacy policy. We confirm that we agree with them and submit the registration. After a few moments, we will receive a confirmation email. By clicking the link, we successfully confirm the registration, and EVINAR will now create the user account. We then receive an email with instructions and the login address, and we can access the application. A page opens with the basic information about our wine cellar, which we complete if necessary. We check that the appropriate language is selected, as some data will be automatically filled in according to the selected language. Then we click the Confirm Settings button. The initial settings were saved, and our user account was automatically populated with demo data, so we can now easily explore the individual modules. By default, the functionalities that are most suitable for smaller wine cellars are enabled. If we want to use work orders and other advanced functionalities, we can simply enable them in the settings. First, let's take a look at wine cellar management. On the home page, we are greeted by the dashboard, where key information about cellar activities is collected. Here, we can see data on alarms, recent chemical analyses, open transfers, and additions. The toolbar displays buttons for quick access to the most common actions, such as creating new transfers, additions, and analyses, quick access to contents, vessels, and more. By clicking on Vessel Contents, a page opens showing all vessels in the cellar that contain wine. This list can be quickly narrowed using filters. If we select one of the vessels, a detailed view of its contents opens. First, we see basic information about the vessel and its current contents, such as the vessel code, size, vintage, variety, quantity, content code, and others. For the current content, an analysis sheet is displayed, showing when individual types of analyses were performed last and their values. In the Previous Analyses table, we can see analyses that were performed throughout the entire history of this content. In the Trace list, we can see how this selected content was created through fillings and top-ups. A list of the latest sensor measurements is also displayed, such as temperature and sugar level. At the bottom, we can see all analogical additions. The toolbar contains buttons for creating new transfers, analyses, and additions. A trace graph is also available, where the history with all key events is shown graphically. This allows us to see the initial filling, top-ups or equalizations, transferred to bottling, as well as analogical additions and performed analyses. At the bottom of the page, we can find a list of previous contents in this vessel. By clicking on the selected row, we access the previous content of this vessel. In this case, the wine was sampled and prepared for bottling, so information about the registration number and alcohol content is shown. This content has already been transferred to other vessels, so below we have a list of subsequent transfers where we can see when, how much, and where the wine was transferred. In the main menu, we can quickly access the list of all vessels, empty vessels, partially filled vessels, and vessels with sampled content. If we want to know what the situation was on a selected date, we click the Inventory link, enter the cutoff date, and press the Search button. The contents that were available in the cellar on that date are displayed. The next section relates to transfers, where we can review different types of events. First, there is a link to Open Transfers. These are drafts that have not yet been confirmed and can still be edited. Below that is a list of all transfers where we can review them and filter them by various criteria. For example, we can select only transfers to bottling and press the Search button. If we want to add a new transfer, we click the New button. Bulk entries are available to perform the same action on multiple vessels at once, for example, transferring from one tank to several smaller ones or vice versa. In the main menu, we also have shortcuts to all main events. First, movements of contents on a specific day, so we can quickly see everything that was done on the selected day. Then, a list of all sampled vessels where contents are prepared for bottling. Below that, we see finalizations, or contents that have been transferred to bottling. In a separate list, we have access to all fillings and top-ups, so we can quickly see when new content entered the cellar. Fillings from line contents simply show us fillings from presses during grape reception at harvest. And harvest yield shows how much wine we obtained from received grapes and calculates the price in each vessel based on the grape price and additions. Next is the section dedicated to analogical products. Here we have a comprehensive overview of all additions and several different views that make work easier. First, there is the Additives on Data page, where for the selected date, we can see all additions that were applied on that day. By default, the current date is selected. Next is the Open Additives view. These are drafts that have not yet been confirmed and can still be edited if needed. On the Additives page, we have a clear overview of the complete history of all entries, which can be filtered and searched by various criteria. For faster work, there is the Bulk Additives Entry work, where we can enter a selected analogical product into multiple vessels at once. In addition to actual analogical products, we can also record labor costs and other expenses here. In the case of integration with an ERP system, warehouse issues and receipts are automatically created in the background, while prices and the value of wine in each vessel are continuously recalculated. The next section covers chemical analyses, where we can review and, if necessary, edit all performed analyses. In the case of integration with laboratory equipment, analysis results can be imported directly into the system. Using filters, we can quickly find analyses performed in a specific period or related to a selected vintage and variety. A special Latest Analyses view shows a list of vessels along with the dates and values of the most important parameters, where each date refers to the most recently measured value of the corresponding analysis type. Next are the cellar layouts, where vessels are displayed by individual locations. In this view, we can see measured values from connected sensors, such as temperature and sugar level. With a single click on a selected vessel, the same detailed view opens as before, with all data, measurements, and events related to that vessel. Within the Measurements section, we can monitor the values of all connected sensors and devices in the cellar, from temperature and humidity to other key parameters. And we can also set alarms that automatically notify us when measurements exceed or fall below defined threshold values. Measurements can be sent to EVINAR via an API interface, which allows connection of any devices and systems, and we can develop the integration ourselves if needed. This enables us to connect both the latest IoT sensors as well as very old devices with simple interfaces. Next is the Reports section, where a powerful combination of pivot tables and charts allow us to quickly access the information we are looking for and gain visual insight into our data. We select columns, customize the display, group data, and drill down into details. As an example, we can display contents in the cellar by vintage, variety, and quality. If desired, we can display the same dataset as a clear table, switch to a graphical view with a single click, or export everything to Excel. Finally, let's take a look at Evie, the AI assistant that helps us use the EVINAR application. We first open Help page, and then, by clicking the chat icon, a window opens where Evie greets us, answers our questions, and if needed, offers a shortcut to the desired content. This concludes the presentation of the Wine Cellar Management module. Stay with us for the next video where we'll take a deeper dive into the Vineyard Management module.